On behalf of the Polk County Schools, I would like to welcome you to this particular event and to thank the Ford Foundation for their generous support. And I would also like to welcome the Chambers of Commerce throughout the county for coming and learning more about Polk Academies. Last week, the School Board of Polk County, of which most of the members are here today, and I'd like to thank the board for their continued support for this kind of educational opportunity for students. They have time and time again committed their support for it. But that said, the board adopted a new mission statement, and that mission statement says to provide high-quality education for all students. It's a simple statement, but it says it all about what academies are in Polk County. They are high-quality opportunity for a student to gain a quality education. They can do any number of events. In fact, they can earn college credit, they can earn industry certification, they can do any number of things that will stretch them and make them do the best that they can be. The results that we're getting are impressing us, but they are not what we want. We want to get them even better. And that's what John Small is all about. The board also has adopted a philosophy of going to wall-to-wall academies within the next 5 years, and I think that is an extremely honorable goal. How are we able to do all of that? We're able to do those kinds of things because we have that high-energy guy by the name of John Small. In fact, one of the persons brought your own fan club, John. In fact, this morning at a breakfast with some people who were introducing the meeting to me, said, what will you do if you were going to a new community to establish academies? And one of the persons at the table said, I'd go find a John Small. Who is John Small? John Small is the Senior Director of Workforce Development for Polk County. With that, let me introduce to you our high-energy guy who makes this all happen for us, John Small.
Thank you, Dr. Stewart. Everybody that liked what they saw on the way in here, how about an applause for those students out there? And that's just a sample of the over 70 middle and high school academies that we've been able to partner with our industry partners and build over the last 6 years. This is really the best part of the evening for me, is that I get to thank our sponsors for this event. And we couldn't do this without those sponsors. Jarrett Gordon Ford of Davenport, Brian Jarrett. If, as I call you, would you please stand? Because you guys really made this happen for us. Jarrett Gordon Ford of Winter Haven, Brian Jarrett. Bartow Ford, Benny Robles. Lakeland Ford. Lakeland Ford, Bill Mutz. Mid-Florida Credit Union, Mark Gray, Misty Peacock, and Jeanette Wallace. And this is kind of a neat one for me, but the Winter Haven Public Education Partnership, Doug Lockwood, Chair. I also get to thank a group of people that work with us throughout the year in giving us guidance here at the local level. These are business partners that come in and meet with us and really work with us to provide the opportunities for these children. And that's our Polk Academies Advisory Board. Would you all please stand if you're on our advisory board? I'd like to thank you. And as we started this journey with Ford Next Generation Learning, we had to have a community liaison. And let me tell you, that was not an easy task as we built our 5-year plan. We had so many people involved. I'd like to thank Dr. Naomi Boyer of Polk State. She was our community liaison. Naomi. If she stood up, thank you. I can't see anything out there. This is probably, oh, there you are. There. Okay. The chair of our advisory board, and gosh, I think she works 100% for us, especially in the last few months, Debbie Burdett from the United Way of Central Florida. I would like to thank our superintendent, Dr. John Stewart. And let me tell you, without the support from the top, none of this is possible. So, as you look at all the pieces that have to go together, our business partners, our superintendent, and our school board members. School board members, would you all please stand, because you really make this possible for us? And I'd like to give a special thanks to all the different departments within Polk County Schools, from instructional to the support, our custodians, everybody that helps provide the opportunities for these children. And a special thanks goes out to our community relations department, because let me tell you, we don't have that large of a staff, and when we put on an event like this, we draw and pull from everybody, and they've been a big support to us, so community relations. And at this time, this is when it really gets good. As we were going through the agenda, I thought, you guys need to hear from one of our students. So I asked one of our students, and that's Levante Johnson. Levante can make his way up here. I asked him, would you just give a brief talk about what does academies mean to him? Now, Levante's a student at George Jenkins High School, and he is in the academy, the Geico Academy of Advanced Business Management. Levante.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls, for that introduction. Really appreciate it. How is everyone doing today? Or this evening? Good. I have a good, active crowd. I like that. Well, my name is Levante Johnson. I'm a student at George Jenkins High School in Lakeland, Florida. And because of Polk Academies, I can now say that I am the student ambassador for the Geico Academy of Advanced Business Management. And let me tell you, in one of my academy classes, we were talking about the 6 steps that an entrepreneur takes, that an entrepreneur lives by. And these 6 steps are: 1, seize the opportunity; 2, organize a plan; 3, assumes the risk; 4, start the business; and 5, runs the business; and finally 6, intends to make a profit. And this is when the lights in my head start to flicker and I made a connection. These are the same 6 steps that anyone takes in life to achieve and accomplish anything. Those 6 steps. And that day when I choose to join my academy, it's the day I really found that I had a purpose in life. The start of my high school career, I was in a new place, a new city, a new school, and I was the new guy. The good part about being a new guy was because of my people skills and my personality, I kind of fit in really well. I was enrolled into regular classes, and it was too easy for me, and the students that was in those classes didn't have that motivation that I wanted to be surrounded with. I attended the school at Ricketts High School in Tallahassee, Florida. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. And they offered the IB program there. I chose to be a part of that because I knew that is where I would love to be. It was a challenge. It would push me a little harder. And I struggled badly, but could not drop those classes because I had made some close friends, and I felt like I would be a failure if I didn't complete the program. Well, with problems at home and struggling in school, I was an emotional wreck. Inside, holding it all together with a smile on my face so no one can see. One day, that smile broke. My heartache and pain was out on display. The next day, I was in Lakeland, starting back from day 1, a new school, similar classes, and not performing to the best of my ability. I didn't want to be in that place called George Jenkins. I pouted for a very long time. I used to sit on the staircase on the other side of our freshman academy building where no one would hang out, no one would socialize, because I couldn't socialize with anyone. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even find a job. I started to become very lazy and very unambitious. And I was on the verge of giving up on myself and my education until a friend of my math class said, hey, you heard of that Geico Academy they're having next year? And I was like, no, what is that? He said, it's a business academy that they're starting. I'm going to room 4226 to go talk to the directors about joining next year. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll go with you, man. So I went with him, and that was the day, that's when I started to live again. I went home that day, and I was so excited about joining the academy. I went to sleep, and I started dreaming. I started visualizing about all these different things and how the academy could be. And I was so excited, so I woke up the next morning, I wrote everything down that I dreamed about, and that same morning, I rushed to my teachers, the academy teachers, and I took it to them, and I started reading everything off on the list, and they were just like, whoa, you're so excited, you just have a lot of enthusiasm. They opened up their arms and said, hey, I want you to come with me, and we want to sit down with you so you can help us build and finish constructing this academy from a student's perspective. I had the opportunity to develop my own vision. The monthly meetings and the uniform attire and our academy goodie bags that each student receives every year were my ideas, and I had the chance to develop and become successful. Because of my academy teachers, Mrs. Rollins and Mrs. Canning, I have a solid foundation and support for my every move, to tell me when I'm off track and what I need to improve on. They are there to mentor me and to parent me to be the best I can be. I can stand and say I was on the verge of being a high school dropout, being pressured from self-esteem issues, depression, and frustration. But because there was something I can be a part of and grow and develop on my future, I'm not that depressed and non-focused individual dropping out of high school. The academy saved me and they revived me. They gave me hope. They gave me an opportunity. Where would I be, or who knows what I would have done without my academy? Polk Academies bring as much as the real world into the classrooms as possible. It exposes us to so many different avenues. I have the opportunity to be certified in any field I choose. Hey, look at me now. I'm a certified Surf-Safe Food Protection Manager that I received through the Culinary Arts Academy at George Jenkins. And now I'm working on my CIW certification with my business academy. I've told you my story, and it's just one story. But there are so many more that are similar to it. Our Polk Academies programs is the opportunity to give each story a positive ending. As it offers hands-on experiences in our diverse areas of interest and abilities, it offers a chance to grow in a stimulating yet protective environment. Whether a student wants to be a doctor, lawyer, or even a teacher, the chance to explore, grow, and become the best that you can be is available through our Polk Academies. I challenge each and every one of you in this room to take the time out and to visit every booth out there and hear their stories. Thank you.
Oh, I hate having to come up here after something like that. How do you follow that up? And how many of you would like to hire Levante? Huh? Well, you know what? We have 96,000 potential Levantes out there. And it's our duty to try to make that happen for every one of them. This next gentleman, this is really cool stuff. Julie from our office, who really makes all this stuff happen, the coordination and planning of all this stuff. When we did our We3 Expo, she came to me and she said, we should have a song about the academies. And I said, well, we have a recording arts academy at Ridge Community High School over in Davenport. And I said, you know, call the instructor over there and maybe they could do something. And so she did. And a couple months later, she played this song for me. And this next student, Anthony Perez, and I've got to hear this. Actually, his song played on the radio today, 98.3. Anthony's a shy guy too, you'll find that out. But Anthony wrote the lyrics to this song and included every academy in Polk County. He wrote the music, and then he and his class produced it. And this is his first live performance. He's going to sing that song for us today. Anthony, come on up.
How's everybody doing today? I never seen so many beautiful people out here. Well, I really wanted to give a special thank you for Forward Next Generation. You know, letting this happen is a beautiful opportunity. My name is Anthony, like you said. I'm a shy guy, you know. But I appreciate everybody being happy. I like the feeling in the crowd. I decided to make a song for you guys. And here it goes. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Yeah, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Here we go, yeah. Polk Academies, strive to be the best that happened in the century. Job and education taking over the placement. Trying to be the best that happened in this nation. In this nation. Polk County, let me see you stand up. The best academies are here, let me show you what's up. Want to learn about exchanging news or information? Consider joining Academy of Communication. Are you good with work? Building with your hands? Consider joining construction and creating some plans. Got a passion for nursing people back to health? Study medicine and make a doctor of yourself. Polk Academies, strive to be the best that happened in the century. Job and education taking over the placement. Trying to be the best that happened in this nation. In this nation. Engineering, marketing, technobiotics, and farm. Find out what you're good at and get to work with some charm. Technology, biotech, style, imagination. Work hard, play hard, show some dedication. Business, legal, veterinary, web design, and culinary, aerospace, extraordinary. Yeah, that's how we do it. Environmental science, media production, natural resource, sports, medicine, beyond it. Electric power, digital imagery. Don't forget tourism for cyber security. Polk Academies, I'ma scream it real loud. Polk Academies, what I'm really proud about. Polk, we bout that Polk County. Everybody all around me. Polk County. Everybody all around me. You can get a certification with the industries and careers that you love. Scholarships are available. Go Silver Vocational Scholars Award. Spend 3 years and reap the reward. Why should you join? Because it helps you prepare CGSO. Develop your skills, leadership, management, cooperation. Polk Academies, strive to be the best that happened in the century. Job and education taking over the placement. Trying to be the best that happened in this nation. In this nation. Polk Academies, strive to be the best that happened in the century. Job and education taking over the placement. Trying to be the best that happened in this nation. In this nation. Thank you very much.
All right, it's me again. You know, the next introduction is from our partners from the Ford, and it is Cheryl Carrier, Program Director of the Ford Partnership for Advanced Studies, Next Generation Learning, and Cheryl is going to sing a song for us about Ford Next Generation, right, Cheryl? No, I'm just kidding. Come on up, Cheryl Carrier from Ford.
Okay, seriously. I mean, following this is, they're terrific. I can't believe this. I have to say this is the most amazing event we have ever seen for Designation. Believe me, this is amazing, and I've been to plenty of them. So, rock on, Polk, honestly. You got it. You can do anything. You can do anything. So I'm sorry you got to listen to me speak, but I'm going to try and make it quick. So good evening, and thank you so much for being part of this historic celebration for your community. Hopefully each of you have had a chance to go out and visit with the students. I had a terrible time getting in here because I wanted to stop at every booth, so I hope I get to do it on the way out. These students are our future. They're our nation's future, and I think we have really good reason to be excited about this. I mean, we're in really, really good hands, right? So thank you. Thank you, students, because you are going to take care of us someday, and we hope that you will take care of us well, right? Okay. So the students of Polk County are why I'm here today, representing Ford and the Next Generation Learning Initiative. Our founder, Henry Ford, was a giant of American enterprise, and he's well known for his industrial expertise. But what people don't know about him, most people don't know about him, is that he was actually really engaged in education. He started about 70 schools in his lifetime. He believed in learning by doing. And I know that Henry would be really excited, and he would have really enjoyed visiting with the students today, and he would have really embraced this model. And he would have been out there tinkering and running that robotics machine. He'd have been very disappointed in me, however, in the way I handled it. His philosophy of learning by doing is what has led us to the Academy model. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Academy model, let me just give you a really brief description. Academies are small learning communities, schools within schools, where a team of teachers, academic and career tech teachers, come together, form a team with a cohort of students, and they stay together for the course of their high school experience. They really form a family. Students learn their academics through the lens of a career or interest. Engineering, you saw them all up there. I don't need to go through all of them, but I mean, it really engages the students in their learning. And they work with local employers to develop real-world projects. The Academy model really prepares students to succeed in 4 ways. Probably many more, but I don't have all night. One is to engage in a very meaningful way in their learning, and it is reinforced by you, the local employers and post-secondary partners. You play a huge role in that. 2, by working on real-world projects, students develop those 21st century skills that we all use every day. We were never really taught, right? Was anybody taught how to think critically or problem solve or work in teams? I wasn't. I went through some hard knocks, right? And more importantly, they're learning to be innovative and creative. 3, they also develop their social capital. They're surrounded by a network of caring adults who are in the field of their interest, and they're there to guide them and mentor them, and that's really important. And then 4, and I think this is also really exciting, students take an active role in their learning and the preparation for their future. They're not sitting on the sidelines being told what to do. They're actually engaged in making decisions for themselves, and that's fantastic. The students that you saw today are really ready to compete. They're ready to compete and thrive in college and career. They're going to be contributors to a prosperous community, and they will be your future employers and entrepreneurs. And as I said, they'll be taking care of us later in life. So visit the health academies on the way out. And I think the boomers there's a huge bunch of us, so you might need a lot more health academies. This is exactly why we created Ford Next Generation Learning. In all of our years of investing in education, we learned some really important lessons. One, I already mentioned, this opportunity and importance for students to get their hands on their learning and to really engage in real-world learning. But secondly, and probably most importantly in some ways, we learned that it truly takes a community to prepare our youth. Our research showed that when community stakeholders aligned their resources around a goal that was collaboratively developed, and specifically the Academy model, they get remarkable results, much like what you're seeing here in Polk already. You're already on your way. Your Academy graduates are outperforming their non-Academy peers. For instance, Academy seniors are graduating at 97%, and all other seniors are graduating at 82%. That's an enormous difference. This is going to impact your community's workforce and your economic development outcomes. And when community stakeholders like you in this room become involved, they ensure that the academies are developed, aligned to workforce and economic development needs, and are successful. Forward Next Generation Learning has been built on a set of essential practices seen in other communities that have scaled and sustained their academy network. And the Polk community has worked for the last year and a half with support of Workforce Florida, Inc., which is a huge contributor to this project, to develop their master plan to grow and sustain this academy network. The designation today of Polk Academies really celebrates the efforts this community has taken to develop their 5-year plan. And the plan, this plan is really important because while Forward Next Generation Learning brings a roadmap and a set of essential practices, you are using that to guide and develop your plan. This is your plan. You've built it. And you own it. And it's being implemented by many of you in this room. And actually, I know that John mentioned some people that were instrumental, but anybody that was in any way involved in the academy discussions or development over the last, how many years? Let's not go back a year and a half. Let's go back the last 5 years. Study visits, meetings, planning meetings, please stand up. Excellent. So I will say that this is incredible work. And next year, I'm yelling, see that? Boom. Next year, there's going to be more of you standing up. I'm sure of that, because you've got to get really excited about what's happening here. So what really excited us about the work that you've done in the last year and a half, and I'm nearly near the end, John. You're really off to a great start. You have 47 high school academies and 35 middle school career academies already developed. You saw them out there. You have made an enormously bold decision to transform your high school so that every single student in this district is going to learn in an academy. And I will tell you, we work with a lot of communities across the country, and there's a lot of communities that are very afraid to take that step. But it will make a difference for every single student in this community. This is very important that you are going wall to wall. And even bolder, you're going to do it by 2017, which is even more reason why we need everybody else in the room to really come join hands. The other thing that was really exciting, and this is 3, is you, the education and business leaders, have this community. Have agreed that you're in this together. You are owning this plan. You're taking responsibility for helping to implement it. You're working together to clear the path for this model to be implemented successfully. And this is really exciting. It's supported by all nine, I hope I have that number right, Polk County Chambers of Commerce. We have never seen this before. And this is a state the size of Rhode Island, right? And you guys are acting like a small community, like this little small community. You all know each other and work together. It's phenomenal. So it's remarkable. Believe me, you're going to look back on this and you're going to realize it if you don't already. And then 4, you've really agreed to review and update this plan annually at a retreat where you will analyze your results and you use data to move you forward. And then you'll share the results. You're going to be really transparent about what's working and what isn't. Finally, so we want something back. We have a network of communities that have been mutually supportive, as we spoke about. So it's now, you've learned from them, you've actually been teaching them, but we're going to be bringing a lot more communities here to see your work. We really need your expertise, and that's part of our role, to coordinate all this intellectual capital and mine it, make sure that other communities have access to it. So there'll be a lot of people looking your way. And so now it's time to recognize Polk as one of 17 Ford Next Generation Learning Communities in the nation. And I think I'm going to say the names of the organizations. These organizations have been really instrumental in helping to convene the partners and build this plan. And so if we could start with PACE, Polk Association of Chamber Executives, Bob Gernert. There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I don't know if there's pictures or not, but.
Well, they'll get them later.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. The next is the Lakeland Chamber Talent Development Committee. Steve Moore. Is Steve here? Hi. Winter Haven Public Education Partnership, Doug Lockwood. And Doug, by the way, is, we have a national network of community leaders that we have developed and formed, and Doug, we just recruited him, lucky him. He's attended 2 meetings. He probably is wondering what he's gotten into, but Doug will be representing Polk on our national committee and really, bringing all his expertise and advice as well to our national work. Thank you. And Polk Academies Advisory Board, Debbie Burdett, amazing woman that worked very hard on this, and thank you. To the Advisory Council. And the School Board of Polk County, Hazel Sellers. Hazel. So these fine individuals were representing incredible organizations, and if you're interested in getting involved, see them or John or Dr. Stewart or students. They'll find their way, help you find a place for your support. So I'm going to just finish with this note. I love sequoia trees. I mean, they just, they blow me away, right? They're just so stately and tall. And gosh, they've lived forever, right? They're 2,000 years old, many of them, some older. And they've withstood floods and fire and earthquakes and all kinds of horrible elements over those years. But they keep standing, and they keep growing, and they keep thriving. And the reason for this is that their roots are intertwined. They don't go real deep. They're just above the ground, just below the ground, but they wrap their roots around the other trees' roots, and they hold each other up. So, I leave you thinking, how does that relate to the work that you're doing here today? I thank you. I'm excited to continue to work with you. Our whole team is, and John, it's all yours.
When we started this program about trying to join the community, we applied for a grant through one of our professional organizations, but those dollars were actually provided from Workforce Florida. And representing Workforce Florida, I'd like Daryl McCall to stand. Daryl is the program manager of Workforce Services for Florida, Workforce Florida, Inc. We actually got $200,000 from Workforce Florida to help us take our academies to the next level. He serves as staff to the Global Talent Competitive Council for talent supply related issues under the direction of the Workforce Board. He's also an original member of Florida's Strengthening Youth Partnerships. He has 17 years of work experience, and he serves on the State Independent Living Services Advisory Council. We also partnered with FACTI. I mentioned that was our professional organization, and Marzanne Carr. Marzanne couldn't be here today, but we would like to thank FACTI. I mentioned our advisory board. Linda Pilkington is on the chair of our fundraising for Polk Academies, and she's not going to let Darrell leave Polk County until we get a commitment from him. I'm just kidding, Darrell, but Linda was on him right off the bat. At this time, I'd love to introduce the executive director of the Winter Haven Chamber of Commerce, and he is going to talk about PACE, Association of Charter Executives, and their involvement. Bob Gernert.
Thank you, John. May I welcome all of you to Winter Haven and to this beautiful place we call Legoland, Florida. I'm speaking today on behalf of Kathleen Munson, who is under the weather and could not be here. So I hope you'll keep her in your thoughts. And Kathleen, you'll have to come to Winter Haven to get that beautiful glass plaque. I also, before I start, have to say this, as Yogi Berra did, it's just like deja vu all over again, John Stewart. It's so wonderful to see you here and to see the wonderful developments of the last week and to have you back, even if it's only on an interim basis. So, welcome back. First, I want to thank all of the chambers. As you've heard, there's been profuse praise here this evening for all of the chambers that have stepped up to support this movement for Polk Academies. I think what you're seeing here this evening and what you've seen certainly walking into this park is a testament to the tremendous power that us working together with our schools can have. I just like anyone associated with the Chamber of Commerce as far as a volunteer leader or the executive, would you stand? Any other chambers here this evening? Round of applause, please. I would also like to thank all of the chambers for stepping up to the plate and underwriting the cost of these wonderful blue blazers. You saw the Career Academy ambassadors up here, and as you came through the park, any of the ambassadors in the room, would you please stand so they can admire those blazers one more time? Don't they look great? Thank you. As you can see, I like blue blazers, and I can't tell you how many people thought I was a student on the way in this evening. What are you laughing about, John? The last thing I'd like to share is personally with our chambers and those chamber members that are here this evening. I can testify to the power that comes from uniting your community. We happen to be very fortunate at Winter Haven to have a major spark plug called Doug Lockwood. But I ask all of our chambers and our communities to join in working toward helping form more of these special, small learning communities within our schools, because I truly believe it's going to make a great difference in the outcomes for our students and the outcome of our collective future. Thank you very much.
All right, that's it. I want to thank everybody for coming. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for the support you give to those children out there, and you're making a better future for all of us. Thank you, and the chamber members, your after-hours event is over in Miniland, and please stop by and see our kids before you leave. Thank you.
Polk Academies, strive to be the best that happened in the century. Dropping education, taking over the placement. Trying to be the best that happened in this nation, in this nation. Polk County, let me see you stand up. The best academies are here, let me tell you.